show you. Really, man? Yeah, it's far out and technical and stuff. Awesome. Yeah. Come on and turn it on. Tune into the Tech Shamans. Come on and turn it on. Tune into the Tech Shamans. Come on and turn it on. Tune into the Tech Shamans. Come on and turn it on. Tune into the Tech Shamans. Cool.
We need to talk about that on
Hey, are we on soon?
I hope so.
Is today
Adam,
Monday?
Adam, can you?
You know,
TGIM.
Is today?
I don't know what today is anymore.
Today is just today.
Today.
Just call it today because that's as much as you can do.
Now, right?
We will then be now.
boy.
Yes, I love that.
Hey, good morning, everybody. Thanks for tuning in to the Tech Shamans. There was not much in tech.
No.
Now,
we had,
next
like, no
week,
news.
we'll have a ton of tech because CES is going on.
Yes, yeah, and plus as we get closer to February, some DDR6 might be available for everybody.
No way.
Yeah, right.
Oh, my God, I'm excited.
And hopefully we don't get the new Windows 10 update before then.
Probably we will. And it'll probably screw us all. That's kind of just the way it is. That's what happens. So anyway, what'd you do this weekend?
I put rotors and new pads, all four wheels, changed oil, and also replaced some accessories.
Wow, we did almost exactly the same thing. We had 4 new tires. Let me phrase this like you did. I put on 4 new tires. I did the brakes and the alignment, and also changed.
You did that yourself?
Changed 16 spark plugs in an 8-cylinder truck.
Did you do that yourself?
Yeah,
How did you do 16 spark plugs in an 8-cylinder truck?
The 8-cylinder truck has 16 plugs.
It has 2 per.
It has 2 per. 1 for intake, 1 for exhaust.
What year is that?
Yeah.
2011.
Was it a Mopar?
Yes.
Yeah, that's why.
Yep.
Okay.
And no, it was fantastic. I mean, I had to lift the key up over the counter and hand it to Clint.
See what it is?
I mean,
but he does his own work.
The truck runs so rich that it has to fire one more time on the exhaust stroke to help burn off the excess hydrocarbons.
Absolutely. Doing my part.
No. I do my part. You guys can't even keep up with my ass, and I have 2 big vehicles.
Yes. But
actually, it's kind of.
But how many spark plugs do you have in your Hummer?
I don't know.
There you go.
I don't. My knuckles, I used to do all my own work, and my knuckles were so bad at one point in time that my wife's like, you got to stop.
Stop touching. So, John, can I ask you, why were you touching your wife with your knuckles so much?
That's, monkey love. It's like, hey. But anyway,
we are not going to.
We're going to stop going there. But I stopped doing my own mechanic work. Well, first of all, you're brave. You're brave.
Yes.
The one thing that I'm scared, and I am not scared of a lot, and let me tell you, I'm not scared of a lot. But the one thing that I'm afraid to do are brakes.
Really?
Yeah, because I've pulled motors and changed motors. I have an ASE certification. Mm-hmm. I'll pull transmission. I got no problem with that. I'll change a radiator, spark plugs. I'll do all that kind of work. I'll run new exhaust. Hell, I'll even put my new. I'll put a new. The spinny thing. Wow, God, I can't. Anyway,
wheel.
No. The axle. Not the axle, but the
CV axle differential.
The thing that. I'll do all that.
Drive shaft.
I'll do all that stuff. But what I will not do is brakes.
Wait, I should have buzzed in when I did that. This is like a game show at that point.
To me, brakes are the one thing that.
Your wife will never forgive you for screwing up.
Man, you're right. When you step on them brakes and it doesn't work,
I will do everything. The one thing I will not do is rebuild a transmission.
Now, see, that's easy.
That's the only thing I will not do.
See, my stepdad owned a garage, and all I ever heard about was how great it was and how much he knew about cars and everything, and I really didn't like him. And so, therefore, I cannot even stand getting grease on my hands if I'm working on a bicycle chain. Yes. That is a fact.
See, I don't mind. The greasiness is not the problem. It's the fact when you get up underneath and it's a zoom, man, and you lose all the skin again. It's just
done it way too many. I've got a great scar on here from where something with the windshield was going on, and either I had to scrape off a tag or something, and the razor blade slipped, and I hacked straight across my knuckle right down to the bone.
Okay. See,
the razor is supposed to be on the other side of the hand.
I've broken fingers, I've broken bones working on a car. Here's the worst thing that's ever happened to me.
What's that?
Okay, so I had just put the new transmission in, right? Mm-hmm. And it was a 1971 and a half Super Sport Camaro, right? So this thing was done up.
Yeah.
And I wanted to have the Hurst shifter.
Yeah.
So I'm like, cool. It's no big deal, right? It's just a shifter. It's not a big deal. It pops in, undo a couple cotter pins and blah, 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 and you're done, right? I get underneath there. I get it all changed out, and it's getting dark. So I'm like, I'm having trouble seeing. So I have flashlights coming up so I could see, right? And I get in there, and I had my screwdriver like this, trying to fit the cable onto this, and it slipped and went in here, all the way up into the canal that's up in there, and it scraped all the way up. I bled for 3 days like a stuck pig. But I'll do that again, but I will not touch brakes. and actually, I have a car at the house that needs rotors, pads, and brake. I need it all put on there. So if I assist you, can you help me? I'm getting him on.
Assist.
I will hand you stuff, and I actually want to learn. But that's the one thing that I never could get down pat, the whole bleeding and the changing, and I'm like...
And putting those little caliper pins back on.
Oh, my God.
I remember being stuck at the garage for 3 hours because the guys could not figure out how to put the caliper pins back on my brand new Dodge Omni back in the day. This is like 1982 or 83.
I remember those.
Okay.
The little square ones.
Yes, and they were just different, and they're like, God, we should never have taken them both off at the same time. We did it this time, and now we feel like idiots because they could not figure out how the hell to get the calipers back on. And they had to wait like 19 more years for the internet to arrive so they could look it up online.
Right.
And the car's still there, by the way. They charged me storage for 19 years.
The calipers back in the day when you did your front calipers, not your back calipers, but your front calipers, you had to take everything apart.
Yes.
Now the cars come with a...
It's modular?
I think it's where it opens up. It never leaves the wheel.
You can do both,
right. Well, you can change your brake pads out so where you just pop them up, you pull the pads out,
unless you're changing the whole rotor, then you got to take the whole caliper bracket off, which is just usually like mine.
Which is what they did. They were
we're getting into car tech here. Let's
car tech.
Okay, so
like we said, nothing else happened in the last week.
Unteched, but went mechanical.
Yeah.
You handed your keys to a guy to
handed my keys to a guy.
He went.
Oh yeah.
Normally,
I went back and I worked on digital work. That's what I do.
Websites,
I worked on websites and all kinds of stuff.
I did not untech. I actually taught people through the phone how to become streamers. It's people I work with.
That's streamers, not streakers. Okay, that's something else
Streakers
entirely.
is easy. Just take it off and run.
Exactly.
I'm just saying, it is what it is. Anyway, so the first thing I want to talk about is, I don't know if you guys saw this or not, but this guy created the web. And let me pull up. You know what I did not do? I did not. It's Tim Berners-Lee. Mm-hmm. Remember?
Long time ago in a galaxy far away.
This is the guy that helped the internet explode.
Yeah, he basically created the first web page design. There I am. Yes, I will lean this way.
Well, don't lean. Just pull it to you. Yeah. He's wanting to start over.
Well, sort of start over. He's got a whole different design plan on it, which is absolutely brilliant. And that is, rather than allowing browsers and companies and so on and so forth to aggregate your data for you, gee, aren't they friendly? And then you're the product that they then turn around and sell. He's talking about taking basically the memory on your device, which was not available when all of this started, and putting instead of having the silos like he calls them, which would be like Facebook is a silo and Google is a silo,
right.
and they all have this information on you aggregated, then they get together and they find out everything, including, you know, how long your toenails are today. But then what he's suggesting is something called pods instead. And you have a little safe, basically, on your devices, and that safe holds your personal data. And only if somebody asks you or pays for it, as in paying you for it,
right,
can they have access to it. So it can hold all of your, you know, you want to do a loan application, you want to sign up for a credit card, you want to pay for something using it. All that data is in your pod. It is not somewhere stored out there. It's kind of like having it, you know, on your Apple device where you've got everything right there.
In your wallet.
And you have to unlock it whenever you want to use it.
Right.
And that is what they're talking about. So Apple's kind of ahead on this thing, but at the same time, he's talking about stripping all that away so that you have total control over your information. It doesn't belong to anyone else.
So technically, like, say, for instance, filling out an application, they would even never have your physical application. They would have just an encrypted key that would have information that would lead to your application that you already own.
Correct.
That isn't how I was seeing it. I was saying they give you an application, and like with Apple, okay, you hit, okay, authorize it to fill in with my data. Then their application is filled in with the data from your pod. So your pod reaches out and writes on it, and then shuts back up again. So you're just authorizing single use. Okay,
and that's the way it should be.
Yeah, I'm filling out a form. I'm going to use my information to fill out this form. That's it. Just like on your Apple phone, where there's an address bar. You know, they aren't hitting anything encrypted. And if you're saying, okay, Apple, I'm allowing you to communicate my address, my credit card number, my whatever. Okay, and you keep it all in those encrypted pods.
And it's one-time use only.
Yes, it's a one-time authorization each time.
Else.
Now, you can sell it, I guess, if you want. If you want to sell people your data, you can do that. If you want them to use it for to customize your searches, you can say, yes, use my product purchase data only.
What would a single user's data be really worth to a company?
Well,
we must really figure this out.
We should, because, you know, right now it's free.
Well, that's what we're giving for, but what are they charging for it? And then it's a question of who the user is.
Let's auction ourselves.
The more valuable you are as a buyer.
That's kind of what's coming to, right?
Yeah, I mean, you could join a collective.
I will go,
and everybody gets, you know, a chunk.
The Borg.
Resistance is futile. We all learned that over the weekend, if nothing else. No, but the idea of, you know, having that level of control, I think, is fantastic.
That is a good idea.
And you know, of all the people to come up with it, gee, I would expect him to come up with a good idea. Which, by the way, is not really anything revolutionary. This is how he thought of it 30 years ago.
Right.
This is what he thought it was going to be.
He didn't have back then. We didn't have the ability to store that amount of data. At that point in time.
Exactly. Not an individual capacity like this. And certainly not walking around with these giant data banks that we, you know, I mean, remember what a memory card looked like from just 10 years ago.
Right.
Okay, and those are hysterical. I'll find them every now and then, my old SD cards.
Right.
That are like, you know, 128 meg.
Yeah.
Like, oh, look, I can take a picture.
Look, I got one here. I
can
can't
take
do anything
picture.
With it.
You know, one photo and I'm done. But forget about shooting video on that. And then right next to it, I've got 128 gig. And that is insane when you look at that and you think about that. But that is what enables us to have this kinds of security protocols. And there are a lot of companies moving towards it and talking about it. But you want to talk about an uphill battle, okay? Because you got companies that do nothing but make money off this. And they make a lot of money off this.
A ton.
That is going to drive the political discussion because it's going to be driving their donations.
Right. And that, you know, so you're back to your point. What is our data worth?
It's worth whoever the highest bidder is.
Well, you are correct.
But right now, there's no highest bidder.
Right.
Well, no, there are. It's just the way they're buying. It's just who they're buying it from is what's different.
Well, you know what?
They're buying it from an aggregator.
It's no different than when you buy a credit card. You know, get a credit card.
You buy credit cards. So I love that.
You know what I'm talking about.
We got to talk later. You and that dark web shit, man. I'm just telling you right now.
No, it's no different than when you get a credit card or something. They sell your information to advertisers and stuff that are out there, and then you get all the junk mail.
Right.
It's always been happening, and we've just grown accustomed to it. And now, it just happens at the speed of light now. Considering people paying.
Well, the thing is, so they're getting a penny for your data, okay? But they're selling 50,000 of them,
right?
And so they're getting $500 is what they're doing.
So I'm worth $500 every time someone sells my information.
You can say that.
I mean,
and just
why
wait
would
for
you
the bid.
want my information, for God's sake?
That's the
I'm
point.
the most boring.
No, you're worth a penny.
I'm worth a penny.
You're worth a penny. But guess what? That's your penny. That's the point.
So we should get it.
Didn't Benjamin Franklin penny found? Oh wait, who's
penny saved?
The penny earned.
Yes, there you go. There you go.
There you go. Right.
Jesus saves, Moses invests. Okay, let's go.
Nah. That's funny. Oh my. So let's talk about Elon Musk real quick.
Richest man on earth right now.
Dude has got bunk. He has got bank.
Yeah, that's what divorce will do to you.
Yeah. Wow.
Right.
Obviously, Elon didn't get divorced.
He's not married, is he?
I don't think so. Hey, I don't know.
I know. That's one of those questions like, I never even thought about that.
Yes, he is, I believe. And he keeps his life very private.
He probably had one of those. He probably had one of those.
Of course, he's never home.
No.
Yeah. But no, he passed Bezos because Bezos lost half his money in a divorce. But now, things are going very well. And yeah, he's saying, for a text messaging app, the most secure one out there, the one the government workers use, is Signal.
Right.
Yeah.
He's telling everybody to use it.
Yeah, and I mean, it's super reliable. It works incredibly well.
I was just reading it was open source.
And it's open source.
It's open source, correct.
Yes, but it's super encrypted. Literally, I know military use it, to chat back and forth.
Yeah, and by the way, when you're on there, that means the FBI already knows what you're doing. So is Homeland Security, so CIA, so does all the Black Ops.
Oh, they know you're there, but they don't know what you're saying.
Oh, yes, they do.
Really?
Guarantee you they know what they...
There's a backdoor to everything.
Yeah. You can't... Again, how do you think Google came out of nowhere? It was all, it's kind of an alphabet. CIA, the FBI, the NSA, HSA. Yeah. Government money's awesome shit. Just saying. It is what it is.
Makes you
Well,
work.
they're live streaming SEC?
Yes. So the next thing I want to talk about, I just wanted to talk about Elon really quickly. So okay. They've already started. They were at 4 a.m. this morning. I tried to jump on a while ago, but we were trying to get stuff ready done in the chair. We're pulling stuff, cables, and blah, blah, blah. But yeah, right now, CES is online. I don't know if I can go in there. While you guys keep talking about it, I'm going to see if I
have a press pass to get in?
Yes.
Damn it.
Well,
And
not
it's
really.
called give your name, address, and email number.
You're done.
You have a press pass.
Yep.
Oh, perfect. So they're just going to sell that information to all the vendors.
That's exactly what
You are exactly right.
And you've just paid for your pass.
Exactly. And it only cost a penny.
Yeah. How many vendors today?
I think it
funny.
was something like...
Any worthwhile notables that are there? I think I saw that Samsung was there with some kind of home robot that's supposed to be doing kind of.
Well, I do stuff. Know on another. Well, that's okay. So we were going to. Did you have a segment today?
No.
Okay, so we'll jump in.
Yes and no.
Lenovo.
Yeah.
Is there right?
Okay. Yeah. I read about that a little bit.
So I actually I think it's kind of cool myself.
So what would you do with 5 virtual displays, though?
That so Rob asked the question. No, we don't hear voices. Rob's in the back. He said, "Does that include the screen, your laptop screen? Sorry, your whatever screen you're on. So that is your main screen plus 4,
or is it just multiple web browsers open in your screen? So you're like, ah."
Yeah, and then how do you what do you got to flick your eye so many times to go, I want to go to that one, I want to go to that one, I want to look at that one. Bring that one up to the front. No, bring that one up. It's like the Google Glass thing. Are you going to wind up with cataracts?
Oh, geez.
And eye twitches and stuff like that?
Worse than I already have. Yeah.
Right.
You know what would be very interesting though is just hit me, glasses like these augmented reality or even virtual reality glasses. Because, like, for instance, I'm at that age now where, I'm nearsighted.
Right.
I could always see things close up with my glasses.
Is that politically nearsighted or nearsighted?
I'm nearsighted. So I used to be able to see things close up, but
Right.
as I age,
Yeah.
I lose the ability to see
Right.
things. But when I take my glasses off, I can see things clear close up.
Right.
So wouldn't it be nice to be able to have the glasses that could automatically autofocus like that for you?
Well,
so
they have some that do
don't want
that,
to-
but they're manual. Okay,
I
so
don't
that
wanna-
you
no.
can pick the
Nope.
distance.
No, I don't-
No,
I don't
yeah,
wanna
you
look
want
up and down.
autofocus. Well, as a person who wears like quadfocals here, okay, what I found most fascinating was when I put on a VR headset. I put it over my glasses, and these are bifocals. So this prescription is very different from this prescription, and it didn't matter.
Really?
It made note for the first time. It's like this screen is right here. I'm sorry. Okay, it's literally right here. Okay, I can't actually see anything here. I have to be back here, and then I've got 2015 vision. At this point, it's 2015. Okay, my glasses corrected back to my original vision. I had actually eye injuries. Okay, so my glasses correct back to my original vision. But what was weird about the VR was that no matter which way I looked, it made no difference
Even if
in
you're
the
looking at-
focus, and yet it's only 3 inches away.
Right.
I mean, I can't work under a car. That's part of my issue. Okay, I can't get under there because I'm looking generally through the part of my glasses that is designed for 6 feet away. And yet that's the part that I need, my reading part. So I'm doing this stuff, trying to see, so I really can't do that kind of thing. But with VR, it was just absolutely wild because I was noticing no matter where I looked, everything was in perfect focus.
Even if you're looking at 5 screens?
And that was the thing. I didn't actually
How
try.
can you look at 5 screens?
I do it regularly.
don't
I
know.
have on my desk.
I have 3 back in the
Yeah.
back, and
But
I'm
it says
like,
it can show up to 5 virtual displays. I mean, what are they like lined up at you know how like Time Machine on a Mac, how it's got the different layers going
Yes.
back? It's like 5 different screens going back.
When I'm doing AR, okay, with the Jedi's Challenge or Jedi Challenges, it's neat because how far distance is created by opacity. So the further something is from you, obviously it's smaller, but it's also more translucent.
Yeah.
As it gets closer, it becomes solid and what's right in front of you. And so they might be playing with that kind of a thing where these other, heads-up displays, the one you're not looking at, okay, will be translucent. And maybe it will track with your eye motion.
Oh, that's a good possibility.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
And I would
whichever
say- I
one
could
you're
s-
looking at, it knows.
Yeah, and I could see something like that.
Yeah.
so here's some of the people that are there. That people will know. Galaxy is there, like they do the earbuds and blah blah blah. Moen's there. Galaxy Notes
Moen.
there. VROR, which is an eye doctor thing, right? Vespera, which is a camera. LG's there, of course. IBM is there. Let me see.
Wait.
Waymo
IBM's
driver.
there. Watson is still relevant.
That's correct. AMD is there. John
course.
Deere is there, and BioButton is there.
You know why John Deere's there?
Why? Because
This is the technology how we don't allow our farmers to work on our
There you go.
tractors anymore.
the Spring Hill Company, Adweek and CMO, Google, Genie, more Google, Twitter, Stars, distribution person. Nike's going to be there. Who cares? Walmart, ITEM, Accenture,
ITEM.
and Mobileye. That is just to name a few. And I hate
we have an
exclusive performance by Billie Eilish, which they're going to have this.
Why?
I hate people that have those kind of shots that I'm better than you crap. I just like to
No,
slap
it's
them.
trying to show you up her nose.
Yeah. Hyperleach,
Count these nose
GM.
hairs, old man.
GM's there. Okay. G little m underscore acknowledge is going to be augmented acknowledge. Habit, SBG, Ryder, Siva, Icora Swarms. There's a whole bunch of stuff.
There's a lot of companies you've never heard of.
Never heard of.
And that's why they're
think
there.
I've seen-
So
I
that
think I have
after
their
this,
keyboards
maybe you'll
at the
hear
shop.
about them.
I have some of
there's
those.
there's an exhibitor direct. I've been
Wait,
trying to
Microsoft's
sign
there.
up since we've been talking.
Microsoft's there. I see.
Yeah,
I see
Microsoft.
Oh, it's presented by
Microsoft,
Microsoft.
they're still around.
They're relevant.
They're
I
a
think.
thing.
There's some.
I guess
I guess they got like a bunch of old school fans.
I guess
They just won't give up. running there, Windows 98.
Windows on everything. Have a great day. We're going to install Windows on your mowing faucet soon.
So when
Hit the start button. It cracked.
So this is like going on Facebook and looking at all the stuff that people are all the crap that they're trying to sell you.
Yeah, and then now that they're going to let regular people in for the launch, are you going to see how many people are out there trying to search for this stuff?
Yeah.
Sorry, it's not coming out for the next.
They're talking, and I think they're talking about the Ryzen video cards.
Yeah.
And how we might have some soon.
Really. Right. So
what I
AMD
keep
is going to
seeing.
rebrand their graphics card as a Ryzen name.
Right.
They probably figured that the Ryzen brand is starting to really catch hold now. Past few years, the AMD chipsets have really come a long way. So
I'm still not. See, our video systems here are all. We've always been told. Intel.
That's because
But now all of a sudden they're like, well, the AMD chips have come a long way, and they're building. They're starting to build. I'm still not brave enough to jump over to something I've never.
And I think it really it's because of the developers. They've always worked with the coding for the Intel and not the AMD, so it's already they're already wow. I just lost everything.
Happy Monday.
Happy Monday.
Happy Monday, everybody.
Welcome to getting old.
Well, hey, you're doing better than I am because I wasn't even paying attention. I'm over here reading an article.
Yeah, I think the software is already written to utilize the Intel code and stuff. And AMD does have, I will say, does have some issues on their drivers, especially.
I know that today I went to install something on my iMac. And I actually got a pop-up when I went to install that was asking me from the installer program, is this an Intel chip or the M1 chip?
Yes.
And it asked me which one it was, and then it chose the software to download for my particular, and we've got one that runs on M1 and we got one that doesn't. So but it was just interesting to see that they're reaching that point where they're having to go, "Oops, these aren't Intels anymore."
Yeah. So this is basically we have to virtualize your software. I'm sorry, sir. That's what they're probably doing. They're probably taking the Intel one and virtualizing it for the M1.
Do you do any riveting?
You mean drill a hole, stick a thing in there?
Speaking of CES,
I have done a lot with leather. Yeah, a lot of leather riveting.
I don't want to hear about your.
I love leather work.
Hear
about my armor that I would make when I was fighting.
Escapades.
Sword fighting. No, it's sword fighting armor, dude.
Sword not to digress.
But we're about to digress.
We are about to digress. I ordered.
Welcome to Digress Airlines.
Yeah, I'm trying to register for.
We'll be taking off again.
My credentials.
As John has found another flashy thing on his computer.
Yes, I have.
And
anyway,
you're
I bought
digressing
one of these.
from your
I
digression.
bought one of these. I like rivets. I mean, when you deal with RVs and stuff like that, you can't screw into the paneling. You have to rivet.
Yeah.
Or you have to
pop rivets.
So pop rivets, right? Well, so I found this riveter that instead of doing a rivet, it does a screw hole.
Yeah.
So I ordered it. Actually, it just got delivered, and I'm looking up top, and it's up there. So
folks, we're going to open the box.
It allows you
So it works like a Chicago screw, where what does it do? Go ahead, describe it.
I think I call it a blind hole rivet.
So what happens is it goes, it rivets in, it does the expansion, so it can't. And then when you pull out, now you have a screw.
So like say
it makes a screw hole for you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right. So basically
it's a brass.
It's like a copper or brass insert.
Yeah. I got it. No, helical thread inserts.
Yes.
I had a client who started making those. Yeah, this was 30 years ago. Oh my, no, it was 1990. Yeah, about 91. And he started doing that into steel rods, and so he had to get the equipment. But that guy now is incredibly wealthy because he was one of the first people inserting them into these specific steel rods and made a fortune on it.
They've made those for they've had those. Most OEM stuff that's made already has it. I think they just made a tool that's cost effective for people to use for themselves.
Yeah, that's
so
a
then
neat
John goes
idea.
out and he's the first one that buys it.
John? Never.
Me, I know. I'm just an idiot.
Yeah.
But-
So basically,
No,
it's a
really.
molly for metal.
Molly for metal.
It's a molly for metal. There you go.
Metal Molly. Molly Metal.
Just forget it, Adam.
I know.
It's Monday. You still can't talk.
So, whoa.
Next.
John's
He's
in.
in.
John's
Getting
looking
there
for
is-
cool
man,
stuff.
I am slowly getting there.
Now we just need to go to a 2-camera shot, either Adam or me, because John's gone for the rest of the day.
No, I'm not. I'm still here.
John's looking at
I-
cool stuff.
I am not done. Oh my God, this is a lot of crap.
If we
Oh,
stop,
they have a
if
lot
we
of
stop
information
talking,
they need to sell, John,
If we stop talking, we're suddenly staring at John's screen.
because something cool is on display. But right now, it's just data mining, John, so
I
that
know.
it can sell his information for a penny.
So are they
Exactly.
gonna have virtual hosts? I wonder that. Hey, could you touch that for me? Tell me how it feels.
Don't ever ask John to touch something and see how it feels.
Could
That
you
can
could
get
you
me in a
put
lot
those
of trouble.
glasses on?
And he's like, I'll use 2 hands. Just watch.
You betcha.
So, I think that the next segment is really important. It is something that we have discussed quite a few times
We have?
about the importance of self-learning and self-teaching. Okay, and getting out there and finding the information you need and learning it yourself.
Right.
And the next piece, this is out of Popular Science, but they're advertising basically a software programming course, which, I mean, there's a million of them out there. You can go on Skillshare, you can go on Udemy, you can go just about anywhere and get them for anywhere from $12 to $200. This is a $1,000 course, though. Okay, that is the Microsoft, the ultimate Microsoft.NET and C+ programmer bundle of courses, so that you can really dig in and learn how to program. And they say it's normally $1,000, but it's $30 right now in this, through this Popular Science link. I'll believe it when I see it. I mean, it's probably a $30 course that they say that somebody once paid $1,000 for. But the neat thing is learning how to do these things yourself. I can't tell you how much everything is pushing us in that direction.
Right.
And, learning how to, we're talking about car repair at the top of the hour.
Right.
Okay. And learning how to do those things. Yeah, those are really important. And right now, that's like stuff that I just hand to a specialist, because I'm learning how to do stuff like this. And this is where my brain is at. And we've been installing, chat bots and all kinds of things, and using artificial intelligence and conditional logic and all these things that we've been building into stuff. This is all stuff that we've had to learn over here, just as the basics of our job. And these online courses, which, by the way, we also install online coursework in case you need that.
That is correct.
And you want to teach people how to, and you can charge people to take classes from you. And, it could be $2 or $3 a piece. It's no big deal. It could be $200 or $300 a piece. It could be like this, a $1,000 course for only $30. Whatever. But the fact of the matter is, this is something that has really, really come a long way, and that is DIY software and learning how to do these things yourself. Mm-hmm. Because guess what? The world is changing, and being a mechanical whatever, okay, is rapidly becoming a very specialized job. I can't touch hardly anything. I have a Prius. Okay, I mean, it's like,
Right,
I'm sorry,
everything's electronic.
I will not even change a tire on that thing, because guess what? There's electronics in the sensors in the tires. Okay, it's like, just forget it. I'm not even going to touch it.
I'm thinking about doing this. I mean, for $30.
Yeah, but just remember, for everything that you learn, you have to have a purpose to learn it.
Yes, otherwise you forget it immediately.
So
What?
you could learn how to use Photoshop, okay? But
I have a purpose.
Yeah,
you have
do
a
on
purpose.
Photoshop.
But a lot of people just sit there and go, "Oh, I want to learn how to do Photoshop. Oh, I want to learn how to edit videos."
Yeah.
But you still have to have that artistic or that inclination of what you're going to do,
Yes.
how you're going to do it.
And you have you have to apply the knowledge.
Yes, you have to apply and have a
so that
reason
it
for it.
becomes a newly learned skill. If you're just, it's like watching a movie. Okay?
Somebody can become very good at editing and putting together a video and still have no idea what they just produced and what it looks and it make no sense.
Yeah.
It could look really good. It's got some pretty cool shots, but it still not make any sense.
Right.
So there's some things that you just shouldn't learn.
Yeah, I learned I learned how to code the Ken Burns effect. Great. What are you going to do with that?
Where are you going to
You know
apply
what I
that
mean? Where are
knowledge
you going to
now?
apply that knowledge? You know?
Make
That's
sure
just an
make sure it's relevant. It's the
That's
same
an
thing when you go to
overused
school.
Product.
Only a little.
You know, it's the same thing when you go to college or go to school to learn. You know, what are you gonna do? What do you want? That's why they always ask at the beginning. You know, when you're in 8th, 7th, 8th grade. You know, what do you want to be when you grow up? You know, what's your passion?
That's a crazy question to ask
you know,
a kid.
It is. But you know what? What's your passion? What do you really like to do? Because at the end of the day, it's if you could really not just pick a job, but if you could pick your passion.
Yeah.
And then focus on that.
Oh yeah, you're going to be much better at it.
happy.
But here's the thing: let's imagine now. I mean, where I grew up, okay, and when I grew up, okay, that's also a factor. But
when?
computers were nothing. They're like something that existed in science fiction movies.
Right.
Okay, and so having access to this kind of lessons, if this is what I want to do, and this is what I'm really excited about, and that is you know. Programming in Python, okay, that's really what I want to do, and I know people that are exceptionally good at it. Okay, I have kids who are exceptionally good at it. I can't even say as an I or a Y in Python. Okay, that's where I'm at as far as that goes. But the point is, yeah, find what you want to do and you have the power to become very good at it now. That's the one thing this technology.
Castle OS.
Yeah.
Look it up.
Well, what got my attention on this is XML, because our software that we use, our software that we use allows us to build XML databases for it to use for the switching system.
Yeah.
And I can make it. I can build my tables.
That's
and
a
stuff.
real life. That's a real life.
That's an application.
When I saw them, like
Yeah.
going, oh my god, I can
Yeah.
actually go in and learn.
May I suggest though, instead of this and buying all this stuff just for the XML portion, jump over to Udemy, okay, where for $12 you can take the full XML course.
You dummy? What?
That's me.
UDEMY.
You go in as a dummy, you come out as a Udemy because you're a little dim with it. Just kidding.
Oh,
That's a
boy.
father joke. Sorry.
Udemy.
I was doing
Today's
those.
Monday, folks.
I was doing those all weekend, and people are like,
Dad
"What
jokes
is
all
wrong
weekend?
with
Yeah.
That
you?"
joke's all weekend.
It was all
rest of the week.
freaking week.
Yep. So, what's next on our charts? Because
Okay.
John is still over here.
No.
playing
Now I'm waiting for my credentials have to be approved now.
Yes.
And it does cost, by the way.
and you're paying for them to share your data.
Okay, so remember how we started off in the beginning about the guy wants to what was his name? It was Tim. He wanted to read
Pods.
the way we read it. So now we're going to talk about and look, I don't care. Don't send me hate mail. Don't send me. Just don't. We're going to talk about tech giants crack down on a Parler for lack of content moderation.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so, and I'm not trying to get political on this. I really am not. But okay, so here's the thing: you open a platform. Look, if we want to use Facebook, we got to follow their rules.
Correct.
If we want to use Twitter, we got to follow their rules. If we're going to use all these social media platforms, including Parler, we have to follow their rules. But now, I know Google has their own servers, Facebook have their own servers, because Twitter has their own servers. They all live on that. So Parler, I guess, was using Amazon's.
Yep, S3.
Okay.
Yep.
So Amazon decided they were going to do the same thing. They're going to pull the server
They did.
rights, right? So, but that's wrong. It's not the fact that Parler had a lack of moderation, because the one thing about Parler, it said it was, now they do, what people understand, they do have moderators.
They had guidelines and moderators, and they would
stuff
kill,
like that, and they would kill anything,
reported criminal
Right.
activity.
So
Same
to
thing on
me,
Gab.
this is
Yep.
bad on Amazon, and it's bad on Google. To me, it's a narrative thing. If you don't like their narrative, that's why you're killing it. If you're gonna do something, don't hide behind the moderation crap. Just say, don't like the message. We don't agree with you. Google doesn't agree. Amazon doesn't agree. Blah blah blah.
Yep. But then Google at the beginning, don't sign that contract, or Amazon, don't sign the contract to provide those services.
That's right.
Okay, and then yank them out with a 24-hour notice.
Yeah.
Because it's not just that isn't all they've lost. I just watched an interview with the CEO of Parler, and they have also lost their email. They have lost their chat, mobile messaging. They have they've lost any monetization accounts. They have had everything pulled out from underneath them in 24 hours. And it has absolutely obliterated the platform.
I think
And they all worked in coordination. Oh, and the big one, ready for this one? They're getting ready to file lawsuits against these guys for it. Okay?
I would.
For doing it. Yeah, you would, unless your lawyers then backed out on you, which they did. The lawyers were then facing these charges and stuff, and the lawyers backed out.
I'm pretty sure that Parler can find somebody, and I'm not. Look, I'm
sure
not,
they can.
And I'm not
sure
here to.
Yeah, Bongino's a partner over there.
I'm not
and he's
here
got
to
money.
go. Oh, Parler's with. I'm not saying that.
No,
I don't care where you.
We're not saying it's that their content is right.
Right.
We're discussing the concept.
The concept is these companies. You signed a contract to be a hosting partner. Now, unless they're breaking the hosting rules,
which is what they're claiming.
But they're not. As far as I could see, they can't. They should just leave it alone. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So, here's the thing. All that Parler has to do is just go buy their own server farm.
Well, and now here was my question about that.
I know that's
because
simpler.
That's what Gab did.
It's easier said than done.
God, Gab on Sunday was up 753% in their traffic.
Right.
Okay, because Gab is another. They actually went through all this over the last 4 years. They got deplatformed 3 years ago. They went through all this banning and stuff like that. And so what they did was they created their own server farm. They installed, I think it was 10 new servers. Okay, over like on Saturday alone or Sunday.
Right.
They installed 10 new servers at Gab, and they're still sluggish as crap because they've hold on a minute.
No.
But here's my point. Okay, and that is they can do all that, but what's going to stop the FCC from saying, let's contact whoever their
service
telephone provider is and cut their trunk line to their servers.
So in the United States, I think we have, correct me if I'm wrong, 4 major utilities providers, right? 4. Verizon,
right?
Ma Bell, right? You have Charter. You have what's the guys down in Miami that are they're
Jimmy Buffett.
Jimmy Buffett, right?
I'm sorry, he's in Key West.
What happens if Verizon and Charter and golly gee willikers, who's the other 2? Anyway, what if these guys go, well, we don't like what they're saying either.
Exactly.
So
which is what has happened.
Where does it
stop? Yeah, I mean, what is
what
free speech when you can't talk anywhere?
When you're talking about free speech,
yes,
that's something that's coming out of your freaking mouth. Okay?
Unless it incites.
But
yes, you
you must also understand that these are also service providers that have, for instance, they have to maintain, they have to continue operating.
Sure.
Correct.
Okay, they do have terms of services up.
Yep.
When if you're going to, I feel if you're going to develop something and say that I am going to be the ability to have free speech or whatever, I'm going to allow you to speak your mind, whatever you want. You knowingly already know that there's a good possibility that you open yourself up to issues to begin with.
Right.
So at the start, if you're going to go this route, then you should have started with your own servers, your own platform, and built it from there. Yes, I know it's, but who really reads those terms of service? And those terms of service can be pretty lengthy.
Yeah.
And they can be interpreted in any way they need it to be.
And that's why they've written it that way too.
And this is the reason, because you know what? If multiple federal governments, for instance, come after Amazon services, okay, we're not talking about one group coming down. Okay,
right.
we're talking about they have a lot riding on it. So to cut their losses for one group is a lot easier. And it's the same thing. You want to store your data out there you want to store your data. It would be like somebody sitting here storing illegal files. Mega, people like that, they've been shut down.
Right.
They claim to be just the company that allows other people to store on their platform, right? But of course, we've come to know that didn't work. Same thing with Pirate Bay. Same
Right.
situation.
Yep.
They did not facilitate people exchanging, the people storing the illegal files there and hacked files, but because they had the platform and made it available, they got shut down. Now they ran around the entire world and decided to reopen here, reopen there, and move their servers around. But the same situation. These are, if you're going to do that, then pull all your stuff into yourself and then try.
So my question now is, do you think we'll get back to, this is how old I am. Do you think we'll ever get back to the world of making your websites a call website instead of a push website?
As in,
Okay, so remember back in the day, if you had a website, where was it hosted? On your computer.
it was on your servers. Yeah,
Your computer. Literally, in the
literally
very
your-
beginning.
Yeah.
Your computer.
You had to be connected to the
was
internet.
Your website. If
Right.
your- if
You
your
were your
computer
own
was
server.
There's still companies that today that do that.
Yeah.
Right.
Multiple companies,
Yeah.
multiple businesses that have,
Yeah.
that have their own databases that are run on
Yeah.
the background. They have a little
Right.
website that, gives customers a list of of course, there's security risks with that, but
Yep.
it is what it is.
Like 4 years ago, I went down because there was a big beauty spa salon, everything that they had an issue. They'd heard, somebody had referred me down there, and I walk in and I'm like, okay, let's look at your website, and I'm like, hold on a minute, you've actually got a server sitting underneath the counter. And they were hosting their own website on their own server. I'm sorry, this may be a big poshy salon, but I'm sorry. No. I mean, and so it was, and the thing was outdated. It was like 8 years old, and it was running really sluggishly. And they're like, "What's wrong with our website? What's wrong?" I'm like, "This is what's wrong with your website."
Yeah.
Okay, you're trying to run it on this on
you're
a piece of
probably
equipment
running on
yourself.
Crappy internet.
And then you've got crappy internet coming in, okay, over the line. And so people are having to hit your computer every time they want to, find out your phone number.
I remember.
Wow.
Believe it or not.
In 1995, my first website
Back when you were
ever-
60.
Yes. When dinosaurs roamed the earth. My first website ever was sitting on a 256 machine that at that point in that day was the biggest, baddest ass that you could buy. I think I had something like,
It was a 286DX.
Yes, 286DX, right. You're right. It had
I had a 286
35 or
in
50 megs
1991.
of
I had a
storage.
Cyrex.
It was so, and then one day, I got a guy call me, "Hey man, I'm trying to go to your website." Oh, hold on. I turned the machine back on.
Yeah.
Because I had turned the machine off.
You know-
I was done. He goes, "Oh, there it is." As soon as I turned my machine back on, my
Who
website
remembers
worked.
the day? Who remembers the day when, towards the end of the month, you'd get the blank page that said they've run out of bandwidth? You got to wait till the first to get into their
Yes,
website
I had
again.
that.
Oh my god!
I had when we started our company, that's what I was hosting my own website.
Yeah.
I was hosting it. I'll probably find it on the Wayback Machine, but I was.
Oh, I doubt it.
You'll find it. You'll find it. I was hosting the site. I think we hosted it for 3 or 4 years on my own computer, and I would just, if my IP, if my ISP changed my IP address, I would just go ahead and change it. I had I think it was OpenDNS at the time.
Yeah.
And I'd have it automatically update, and keep track of my IP address if it had changed and stuff.
Yep.
But yeah, I had a little web server, a very small application that ran, and it was wonderful, and it hosted my site and everything. And it was,
I started 21 years ago building my first website, and I immediately started with GoDaddy, who was brand new. Well, they opened in '92. They were really ahead of the curve, but I started with them, and so I've never hosted my own website on my own server before. But I was thinking about talking to you about setting something up like that over at the house for backups and stuff.
Oh,
So
yeah.
We'll see what happens. So,
Yeah.
John,
Yeah,
it's your show. What's next?
No, it's not my show. It's our show. Don't throw me under the bus like that.
Whee! I'm going to throw you under the Hummer.
That would hurt.
Interestingly, the next one is a lot of fun. Okay, because have you ever been late trying to go someplace, and it's like yesterday we were supposed to be meeting our daughters at 11 o'clock, and I didn't finish with the horses and everything until 9 minutes before 11. And so what do you do? I mean, if this were the world of Harry Potter, you'd have a port key, where you just touch it, poof, and there you are, down in Oldsmar. But in this case, no, we're actually going World of Star Trek on this one.
Oh yes,
yeah,
this is freaking awesome.
We have got
Beam
the
me
ability.
up. The paradoxes and potential of human teleportation.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I mean, my issue with this, of course, is
You have to die every time.
Yeah. Well, do you? Do they have to disassemble you to scan you? Or are there then two of you? And one of you has to die. Otherwise, there's two of you.
Oh, yeah. I've never thought of that.
That has been the big Star Trek paradox.
What's the other one? What's the other one? Crazy. It's called spooky.
Empire. No.
Entanglement.
Oh, yeah, quantum entanglement.
Yes. So what if there's really two of you, but then be alive and in two spaces at once?
And you're in two spaces at once.
So what you do here, you do over there.
Exactly. Instantly.
Yes.
Yeah.
Instantly.
Quantum entanglement is awesome stuff.
It's a thing.
Yeah, it is a thing, and it has been
case,
found.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's
as a matter of fact, the encryption of the internet is being built on that right today.
That's going to be fascinating. Quantum entanglement. Wow.
They've already, if you look it up, because they've also reached some major milestones.
That sounds like it's way beyond blockchain.
Just imagine a router for it. Hey, we got supercomputers on each end of
You thought 5G was dangerous. Wait till you get near this thing. You just cease to exist.
So I want to say something. Rabbit hole.
Oh, jeez.
Rabbit hole. Okay, people, 5G will not kill you. You know why it won't kill you? Because it doesn't kill any of the birds. It sits on the freaking towers.
You don't know that.
It sits on
How do you know that's the same bird 2 times in a row?
Because they get babies 2 times in a row.
Oh, you're talking about the eagles, and so on, and the osprey and so on that nest on them?
So if 5G
those are fake.
Okay.
Those are fake birds. Hashtag fake birds. Okay, yeah.
They fooled me again. Anyway, it will not kill you. If it would kill you, there would be no birds on the towers.
Come on, this everybody was doing this when 3G was coming out.
Yeah.
Like, just come on, guys.
And if I hear one more person, I'll never put my phone up to my ear. It's too much radiation. I'm going to put a Bluetooth in my ear. Really? Because that's more freaking dangerous for you than the freaking radiation that comes out of this.
Good to know. Which is why we just use speakers.
God have mercy. How about not talk out in public on your phone at all? I'm tired of hearing people's conversation.
What?
Isn't that the truth?
Especially at the cash register.
Yeah, I'm just standing here looking at all these people. Look at that. These people are nuts. Blah, 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 blah. And then on speakerphone. Well, what are they doing?
They're standing in line waiting for the register.
Right behind me wearing, and a shoulder holster.
God have mercy. Anyway.
As she turns around.
But yeah, I mean, teleportation is in its it would be cool. Don't get me wrong. Here we go. Bunny hole, rabbit hole. In the new Discovery, right?
Oh yeah.
When they jump 900 years into the future, and it was teleportation. Everybody had teleportation.
Yeah, now the transporters.
Now they have personal transporters.
Yes. Yeah, you no longer go to the transporter room and you just go boop and you're there.
You know what that does, right? You notice how
that kills you and rebuilds you.
So you had it on your left side, right? So it stops your heart.
Yeah.
Disassembles you. Reassembles you on the other side.
And it has to all happen within a heartbeat.
Yes.
So on the downstroke, hopefully you get started back up.
I mean, I
well, that's why it's on the left side. It's got a little.
That's right. I knew it. Because your heart can't be beating during the time,
and it can't be any rainstorms.
They can't. Oh shit! You rematerialize. The next thing you know, you just turn into liquid water. Jeez, you can't be wet.
So now we have the
Star
Fly.
Trek: The Motion Picture. Yeah,
the Fly.
And the Fly. Yeah,
that was a bad one.
Heaven forbid a fly lands on you the last minute.
Yeah. Oh, jeez.
Ooh. So.
Right?
But no, this is neat technology, and I wouldn't be able to get to Oldsmar in time, but it does bring it up. I mean, even if it's an exact copy of you, is it still you?
Right.
You know, I mean, okay, getting a little bit metaphysical here, okay? When you trim off, okay, these are my hands. Are these hands me? Okay?
Would you lose a bit of yourself?
Wait a minute. If I trim my fingernail, and here's the fingernail trimming, is that me? Is that still me?
It's your DNA.
But is it me?
No.
That's the thing. It's like,
I know
so which part of me is me?
Yeah. You've been reading too many articles recently, haven't you? Because they've just found out that you is really somewhere in there that they don't know where.
No, I haven't read that at all. I've been studying that for years, and yes, that's the conclusion.
When will then?
Where are you? I mean, okay, ready? You lose an arm.
What part of it did you lose?
Is it still you? Is that arm you? Now you add on a prosthetic. Is that you? Is that
right?
Okay, you get down to where you lose all your limbs. Okay,
but
it's
so
craziness. So when you get to the transporter,
right,
and you literally lose your entire body, can that be you?
Depends
on the other side that's reassembled?
But do they say the teleportation encryption, and then so say you lose an arm, you can say no, let's go back to that previous version.
Yes, and
I get an arm back.
That was actually one of the big plot holes.
Time
in Star
machine
Trek.
backup of.
That was exactly. Hold on a minute.
Can I get restored back?
I mean,
to
in
1999?
one episode, they actually cured someone of an infection using the transporters.
Yes, they did.
Okay, and that was brilliant. Yeah, but I mean, they just filtered out the thing. But really, if you've got that information in the buffer, can't you reset the... Oh, he died. Hold on a minute. Boop. He's alive again.
He's not dead anymore.
He's not dead anymore because we just reset him with a transporter. And we do a, space-to-space, same space, transport. Where you're like, oh, there you are.
Holy crap. We only
and you're alive
24
again,
seconds
but
left.
you have no memory of what happened to you. This is now going into, a science fiction
Crazy
story, and it's going to be a lot of fun.
And if you want to hear more about that, go to Big Think and Michio Kaku. He has a really good article on it. Thank you for watching today. We appreciate it. We know you have other things to do and other places to go and other people to watch, and we appreciate it. We'll see everybody
Thank
next
you for hanging
week.
out with us.
Have a great Tech Week.
We got the plans 'cause we are the Tech Shamans. We understand 'cause we are the Tech Shamans. Dude, I got this cool thing to show you. Really, man? Yeah, it's far out and technical and stuff. Awesome. Yeah. Come on and turn it on. Tune into the Tech Shamans. Come on and turn it on. Tune into the Tech Shamans. Come on and turn it on. Tune into the Tech Shamans. Come on and turn it on. Tune into the Tech Shamans. Cool.